he can't do, and he's definitely one for Fnatic to be scared of.
Well, let's see how this works out on our played map. So we'll have this brought up for you on the screen, and we'll see which map this action will be taking place off. And it's Cafe Dostoyevsky. Very technical map. Theme Park was banned at the end. Nora-Rengo was the player, was the team in control of it. And as we've seen so far, up to Playday 3, Jez, Fnatic banning Coastline first, getting rid of maps that might complicate things on the AIM game.
Yeah, look, Fnatic hasn't banned Cafe to my knowledge throughout this new EUL season, so I think it's something that they're very confident in playing on. Otherwise, you would get rid of it naturally. So they've had the opportunity multiple times in the lower end of the banning phase to get rid of it. They haven't, so I'd be a little bit worried for their opponents in Nora-Rengo here, who, you know, clearly want to try and take them to an uncomfortable map, especially with ping. So I think Fnatic are feeling good, but we'll see how they play, you know, moving forward throughout this match.
I mean, yeah, Nora-Rengo don't seem to have any particularly strong feelings about it. I think it's a very good point that you raised, Jess, is Fnatic do feel comfortable in this map. You have to wonder how much circumstance is going to affect them in that situation. But I mean, these are two teams that have a very famous history with one another. They've gone backwards and forwards on many of their wins and losses, all the way back to 2018, edging all the way into the present. So they've been very evenly kind of mixed over the history that they've known one another. So it could be an instance where Fnatic do happen to have the advantage over Nora-Rengo, but they're certainly going to take them to their limits, I think.
Okay, so just quickly, Gio, what do you expect this since you're talking about Fnatic so much?
I mean, I think Nora-Rengo have looked like they've been improving over the last couple of play days. They were a team that came in, and we obviously have 4 Japanese teams, and we were thinking historically they've been great, not had such a good recent history, but in the last couple of play days, we have seen a couple of things from them that suggest they have been improving and adapting. And I would like to believe that they're in a good position to take on Fnatic here. So I think for me personally, I will be looking at Nora-Rengo and feeling a little bit more confident about them than I would have perhaps on Playday 1. But as for whether it's going to be enough to take on this team that seem to be the kings of APAC right now, well, I don't know.
Jess?
I think I'm going to have to give it here to Nora-Rengo just because it's a big map. There's a lot to clear. There's a lot to do. Time restraints. Players need refrags. We need verticality. C4s could be raiding left, right, and center. I hope to see that from Nora-Rengo. If we don't, it could be Fnatic's hand.
Okay, what do people think about this match? Again, you can vote on these games at R6 Esports APAC. Go to Twitter. Check us out there. 52%, 48, our closest so far for Fnatic and Nora. Completely understandable. These two teams have had a long history, as Gio is talking about. Let's see if Fnatic can break this cycle that they've had so far in APAC League. Let's go to game. Caster is all yours.
Cheers, Milosh. It's a big game that we have here. When you hear Fnatic versus Nora-Rengo, you know that there is a lot of history behind it. The first time either of these teams played at an APAC finals, it was against each other. Now, Fnatic has that head-to-head victory, but we are playing on a map where we don't know anything about Fnatic's recent history on Cafe. Hap, I know that you're going to be keen for this one. Nora-Rengo, Fnatic, I want to hear your 2 cents. Who's going to take it?
It's gonna be tough for sure. Like, Nora-Rengo will have the advantage here due to the fact that, well, Fnatic seems to be struggling both in game and in their heads with the current ping issue that is around. Definitely will not give them too much confidence, well, knowing they will be able to win these gunfights. So I think if Nora-Rengo can keep it together, it should be theirs to take. But it's up to Fnatic now to show that they know what it is and know what's necessary to win these kind of games.
Well, let's dive into that ban phase. If you have a look at some of the recent history, funnily enough, when Nora-Rengo played this in the Pro League against Detonation, they actually didn't ban an attacking operator. That's not something you see every day, but hey, I guess that was just a specific confidence play they had against Detonation. I don't think that's going to be the case here. Maybe Nora's going to knock out the Monsi, maybe knock out something like a Bark to prevent some of that verticality, especially from library or reading up into Bar. But as for now, Fnatic's going to get rid of the Thatcher, super staple ban, very common from both of these teams, very common in the meta at the moment. And with Nora-Rengo banning out the Maverick as well, it means it's going to be very difficult for both of these teams to open up those reinforced walls. And we might even see a little bit of Kali slip on in there as well.
Quickly check in indeed whether or not the Kali is going to get played. And well, we have seen it in different maps. The Stature, Maverick, the bans came through. It often came down to a Kali to be played. However, we're still playing Cafe right here, especially on the top floor. Might not be necessary to bring it. I think as soon as we're going down towards the likes of like the kitchen prep, that then we will have actually the Kali potentially being played.
Yep. Maybe Kali's going to slip in there. We're going to have a real quick rehost while we just check out, as you can see. I'm sure you guys can see the chat. Papilia says, roger that. And, well, diving into that Valkyrie ban, it's actually a really common ban for Fnatic. And I know people say, well, you know, Valkyrie, not the most uncommon ban these days, especially now that Echo's off the board. But it's been a staple of Fnatic even before Echo was perma-banned. So Fnatic has banned it in all but one of their most recent 8 maps. And that's fairly significant. And one of the things I like about that is it means that maybe you can free up an extra slot in your attacking lineup when you don't have to bring that IQ. You don't have to worry about either the Valkyrie or the Echo, which are the 2 main operators you would bring an IQ to counter. And maybe that allows you to bring a little bit more soft breach, a little bit more explosives so that you can deal with your Goyas, your Wamais, your deployable shields, Evil Eyes, etc.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see due to the fact that Akali has these 3 explosives, as we mentioned multiple times right here. It's not just a sniper rifle that will be able to hold long angles, and well, that is kind of something that Fnatic is not going to be willing to use right now, because these angle holding kind of game style right now they're trying to play doesn't really work out, as of course that ping disadvantage. So like, yes, it brings the explosives. The playstyle of the Kali might not be something you would like to have in Siege, or what's not typical for Siege, because it's really passive, right? You're just holding off on long angles. And then you're thinking, well, what other operator could be bringing the same destruction to utility? Like you would go for a sledge, maybe. Bring the sledgehammer to get close, smack some shields up, smack some evil eyes up, have grenades to deal with something further out. So like there is alternatives there, but the one thing that Kali does have what others don't is she can shoot them through reinforced walls, take out everything on the front and on the back of it, and with that, well, clear out and basically be a Thatcher alternative.
Yeah, what's funny here from Nora-Rengo's perspective is if you look at the most recent maps they've played on Cafe, so they played NRH in the Japanese national qualifiers, they banned Thatcher and Valkyrie, which in this case were banned out by Fnatic. Now, the prior time that Nora-Rengo played Cafe, it was in the Pro League, and they banned nothing on attack and then Echo on defense. And those 3 are all banned. All those 3 operators are banned here. So this is a very familiar kind of territory for Nora-Rengo playing Cafe without those operators. But the X factor is the Maverick is gone, and that's going to change the playfield quite a bit. But of course, Nora-Rengo getting rid of the Maverick themselves means that they're very much prepared to go against that playstyle. Now, you kind of have 2 options when you go into a map with Thatcher and Maverick banned. Now, firstly, you play the Kali. We saw Miriu do it in Oregon in their game last week against Q Confirm. To mixed success, I would say it wasn't very good. Or you can just say, look, let's try and get creative. If we want to breach a wall, let's get creative with grenades or other utility to try and destroy any walls that are on the other side. Or just don't go for the walls. Focus on, for example, if you're attacking bar, you do a cocktail take, clear out pixel. You don't necessarily need to open the backstore walls to clear out freezer. Maybe you could go for an execute up white hallway, maybe an east windows execute, as we've seen from teams in the EU as well. And especially on the basement, like people use electric claws on the hatch in freezer, but I don't see that as super impactful anyway, because we've seen how effective teams have been at clearing that out with, in particular, frag grenades. So while this Maverick and Thatcher might incentivize a bit of Kali play, I wouldn't be surprised to see these teams, especially Fnatic, not run it.
No, like indeed, like if I'm thinking about it, I don't think Fnatic will be taking it. Nora-Rengo on the other end, as you said, they have already tried it a bit before, and you see it instantly coming out from Miriu. But the smart play right here is actually the mute to come out from Fnatic. And you might think, why is that a smart play? Well, in case they actually get these X-Kairos on the wall due to the fact that they didn't drone it out properly, they didn't know, okay, we're going to swap anyway. I was going to be saying, like, I really like the mute play as, well, you will be destroying the X-Kairos as well if you want to take care of the mute gemmer right behind it. Meaning that you need to drone better on the likes of Nora-Rengo, right? You need to actually know whether or not there's going to be a mute gemmer right behind it if you want to be able to deal with it.
So if you do a bit of a roll call here for explosive utility, I know this is something I brought up in a lot of my casts recently, but I find it super important in this current meta, especially with the operator lineup that Fnatic is bringing. So Meryu has 3 explosives from his Lance. You have Soulboy with 2 frag grenades on the sledge, and Simatuki with 2 explosives in the lifeline. Now that grand totals 7 all up explosives for Nora-Rengo, and plus 6 flashbangs to burn out ADSs or magnets. Now for Fnatic's side, you have those ADSs from Mentalist, which can chew up each one 2 projectiles, so that's a total of 6 between the 3 ADSs, plus Lusty's magnets, of which he'll get about 7 over the course of the round. So that is already a ton of utility. That's 11 of those stun grenades and other utility chewed up. And on top of that, you've got Magnet's 3 castle barricades, the 2 Evil Eyes from Styx, and the deployable shield from Lusty. Like, there is so much utility here that Fnatic is bringing that Nora-Rengo has to clear. And without the Thatcher to take out those ADSs, and without even an IQ to call where those ADSs are and where those magnets are so they know where to clear it, this is going to be really tough for Nora-Rengo.
It's definitely going to be tough. They're going to have to use a lot of utility to clear it out, or they will have to take it by force and actually force themselves through, just brute force them into the site or into these kind of situations and areas where these shields and magnets are deployed. You might be able to bypass it due to that, but just getting the upper hand of Lusty. Take out these magnets with your gun, of course. You don't have to use any throwables if that's the case, but if Max starts it off like that, there's going to be a no-mag gone. And with that, your air jibs as well. Hope he deployed at least some before he fell right there. That's a very good start for Fnatic.
See Nora-Rengo on this rappel. That's a great spot for Meryu to sit, and he gets the injure there onto Magnet, but oh, can he finish him off through the bar? Surely he sees him. No, Magnet allowed to survive here. Likely going to get revived from Styx. They're safe at Cocktail. And of course, with that castle barricade still intact in Piano, separating that piano room and the cigar shop means that Tex is allowed to play fairly safely, but he just ran right past that exposed angle. Oh, he's got to be glad that Meryu didn't manage to land that shot. And the next starting to peel away on this defense just to continue wasting Nora-Rengo's time.
Kind of a risky play right there, just running past after, you know, Mac just got down from that same angle. Could have just as well lost his life right there, or been put down to 20 as well. As Nora-Rengo right now is trying to make a push. It seems like they're going to go from both Piano and the red stairs, hoping to force themselves through like that. This long angle is here, but will be well, helping out Nora-Rengo, especially with the fact they have that Kali available to them. That's that long angle they can now watch. But are you aware of the fact that someone is right here in the kitchen? Does look like it due to the pink coming out. It's the peak coming in. Yoshingo is not going to be seeing him. And Lusty is going to be missing all the shots. Lusty, that is not what we're used from you. That is definitely potentially going to be, well, round losing, as this is going to be giving so much room right now to Nora-Rengo to actually push through into the freezer. They need to take care of Mentalist next. He's trying to go for a little bit of aggression as Simatuki right now will be responding to Mac, will be getting that kill. It's going to be another one to come in, and suddenly all starts to fall into the hands of Nora-Rengo. As C4 will try and draw things up. Tex is doing some great work right here with a triple kill to come in. And eventually Mentalist will be able to clean it up, but Lusty missing that shot that could have been the round loss.
That C4 was oh so impactful there by the end of it to deny that plant and force Nora-Rengo in a position where they had to chase frags. Now, there was 4 versus 4 with 15 seconds left for Nora-Rengo, and that's why they tried to force down that plant, and why Fnatic denying that plant was the most impactful thing that happened that round. Overall, a bit too slow for Nora-Rengo, and I think you've got to admit that with the early pick against them as Papilia fell on the East windows, that did stall out their push a little bit. And I like the read from Fnatic to peel away from that cigar presence. Instead of trying to contest for their life, they decided, okay, guys, let's preserve our numbers as long as we can, especially because they had the numbers advantage. And then in the really late round, when Nora-Rengo has to push, we're going to have more people up than them, and we're going to be able to refrag it out.
All right. Here we see the entry from Mag. Taking down the Nomad straight away, and with that, this is so painful to watch. Just Lusty not able to hit his shots right there. It's partially to blame onto Ping as well. I think, like, It definitely looked
I don't
like he
know,
thought
like
he was
if you see
hitting
that
him.
kill that Magna got right at the start, like
That doesn't look like
Fnatic
it.
can hit shots, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not like they're not capable of winning gunfights. It just does slightly change the game. But of course, in Rainbow Six, like strategy and teamwork is paramount, and that can trump. If you are objectively the better team, you can win even when you have a ping deficit.
Locate and defuse a bomb.
You definitely can. You definitely can. And it's going to be up to Fnatic to prove that now, as they are, well, they're basically 2 games down. And they are still trying to find the first one, and all that round they managed to actually take it. It's going to be a good start for them to work towards that first win of the season. They expected themselves to be top 3 at the end of this stage. It's going to be significantly harder now after you lose out your first 2 games. Basically means don't lose anything anymore. You're not going to be able to find yourself in a top 3 spot, maybe even top 4 spot. And you might think, all right, but there's still another stage, right? But the top 4 is going to be receiving, I believe, extra points for that 6th Invitational at the end of the year. So keep that in mind.
Let's remember, we do play 2 rounds here of this Swiss system, so Fnatic's going to play, what, 5 games here, and then the bracket gets reset. It gets, the new matches are created based on seeding from the first set of Swiss, and then actually the placements of the teams in the second round of Swiss is actually slightly more heavily weighted than in the first round of Swiss. So games become more and more important as you progress forward. But Nora-Rengo, despite not coming into this season with the greatest form after maybe lackluster performances in the Japanese Nationals and the Japanese Pro League, they did have a decisive win last week over Scars. So I am looking at Nora-Rengo and expecting to see them to show up here against Fnatic, their ultimate rivals.
All right. As only 80 seconds are left right now, they're starting to waste the utility that is available for Fnatic. Like, they're trying to get rid of these of these ADSs, of these magnets, make sure they can go for the final execute in about 20 to 30 seconds from now. As Mag is trying to pincer away a little bit of health right there, but it's not going to be able to do too much, as Lusty in the meantime is going to be getting his entry, opening up onto Mariu. That is going to be your Ash gone. Went off to the Kali straight away. Simatuki, however, will be responding onto Texan. Slowly but steadily, the kills start to siphon in. It's going to be Nora-Rengo. That has the complete top floor control, but they still need to go 1 down. Do they have enough time, Dev? Fuck.
I don't think they do have enough time there. Only 45 seconds left when they cleared Cocktail, and that really doesn't give them much time to open up the floor and find these kills. Styx is the only player on site. He's going to contest these holes with the shotgun. In fact, he has no gas left, so he's just playing for his life and his position as much as possible. But Nora-Rengo time slipping away. Just 15 seconds now. Numbers advantage, but really not the ground advantage. This flank could be huge for Mag, but he's shut down. Mentalist, though, to step it up. Now Nora-Rengo have to cover as Yashingo forces this plant down, but Fnatic fight back, and there is no chance that Nora-Rengo can take that one. Fnatic up 2 rounds.
Beautifully played right there. Just the right moment to actually collapse in. They had the verticals ready to respond, and as soon as Nora-Rengo gave up on that top floor control, it was Fnatic that retook it, and with that managed to win that round in the end. And that is how important it is to actually keep your members alive up the top floor. Even though if you might be 1 man down, still leave someone up there to at least challenge it. Make sure they cannot use these angles, so you have a free way into the site, at least from the top floor. And they didn't do that. Fnatic perfectly used that to their advantage. They used the verticals to, well, get their kills in. And with that, the second round on that board, as Mariu now picking out the Kali again, we will be seeing the re-entry of the sniper rifle.
Yeah, Mariu switched off of it last round, but it didn't really make an impact because he was just picked off nice on the early, so oh well. But the Kali, as for this round, likely to be used to clear off those electric floors from Lusty. But the thing with those cheeky little electric claws, there are a few spaces that you can place them where they're protected by something, whether it's an impenetrable cabinet or what have you, where the explosives from the lance doesn't actually destroy it. So I'm hoping that maybe Nora-Rengo are going to have a fix for that. Let's see where Lusty put that claw down. There you go. In fact, I'm not sure whether that one is secure. He's deciding where he wants to put it. I guess we'll see later on in the round once Mariu adopts the lance onto that wall, whether it is effective. But Lusty still has one claw in pocket to use if Meryu destroys that first one.
Yeah, just keeping that second one as backup always a good idea, of course. Gives you the opportunity to trick a bit as well. For now, he's going to be trying to contest a bit into Bakery, make sure they will not be able to take it for free. As often a attack onto this side comes from that Bakery to get a little bit of a top floor pinch. Now, so far Nora-Rengo not seeming to go for the Bakery yet and just wanting to get that top floor control. Probably will mean that we might actually see a Garage and Freezer take, because if they still want to go for the Bakery, it's actually key that you try and clear out the Bakery as soon as possible and not leave it up to the defenders until the last minute. Yeah, Mag didn't get spotted out there. That's potentially troublesome as Nora-Rengo starts opening up these hatches. He's also smoke. What is he doing here?
Surely this doesn't work here for Magnet. He is just prone at the bar. And on drone now is Soul Boy. Magnet's going to play patience. Simatuki's going to spot Magnet. No, that was on the different floor. Could not tell. Oh my god, there are drones everywhere like ants. Is that Yoshingo's drone on the correct floor? Honestly, I can't quite tell.
No.
Magnet is still just going to prone here. I think Nora-Rengo have no idea. But of course, Magnet is going to have to rely on making an impact here because he is not supporting his team and his utility is basically not applicable where the gas needs to be applicable. Magnet now does hear where those players move and he's going to execute his flank, but needs to be cautious. He could waste this opportunity if he doesn't land the shots, or maybe if he just finds one pick at the wrong time. So he'll play slowly. And Nora-Rengo start to execute this vertical take. Magnet on this flank from the white stairs.
Two in the drone in the hallway right there. No one is covering each other. One just went off, but Mag still has an opportunity to go for the second. He still, however, the air chip is right there. Run back up. You gotta go now. There is no holding back. Meryu will get the kill to Tex in the meantime with that rifle, but it doesn't seem like they've actually heard on the likes of Nora-Rengo as no one is holding it. He's gonna be able to come in from the back. Swaps over to the shotgun. Gets the second. No, he does not. It's Yoshingo to be on 1 HP right here. Will be able to get his triple kill though to start things off for Nora-Rengo. They just snap their fingers and take the round right there. They should have been maybe a bit earlier on the actual flank. Like, as soon as he knew that the hatch was being opened up, there was 2-3 people in that single room. Imagine how huge that would have been if he would have been able to take 2 or 3 down from that one.
I think that 1 kill and then traded isn't really a worthwhile flank there for Magnet, especially considering that he could have perhaps, as the smoke, or at least one of his teammates could have played smoke and he could have played something which didn't have util that could have been used on site to delay that push. But I mean, it's a combination, right? Magnet made a moderate to mild impact, in my opinion, on that flank, but just by finding 1 kill. But on top of that, like, his team weren't able to stay alive on site long enough to really enable that flank to shine. I believe it was Meryu to find that opening pick, and Nora-Rengo, despite us maybe criticizing them a little bit on their time management on previous rounds, and even that round to some extent, they were very much successful. They found the picks that they needed, and I have a feeling that now Fnatic has gotten away with that once. Magnet's not going to be able to pull off something cheeky like that again.
Definitely not. They figured out he was still in the top 4 now. If he would be trying to do the same thing again, pretty sure Nora-Rengo is quickly going to be tossing a drone right behind that bar, or maybe even just toss it in the freezer quickly to see whether or not someone is just being a sneaky snake right there, just hiding on the ground, hoping to not be spotted. As that actually happened to Mag, but not as impactful as we would like him to be. I'm still kind of confused as why you put the smoke in such a position, as the utility is so much more valuable to actually keep it on site. So it kind of confuses me. Why not move one of your roamers or one of your heavy fraggers into that position to, you know, go for that?
My one theory as to why it was Magnet that did that is because Nora-Rengo are probably looking for the fraggers. So once they see the Jaeger on site, once they see those more typical roamers on site, they're like, okay, there are no roamers. They're not going to drone out the site and see the smoke, obviously, because no one does that, right? Not early round anyway. So maybe that was a thought process there. Still a bit of a far-fetched play, but unfortunately doesn't pay out for him. Anyhow, this round Fnatic are actually going to do more or less the same kind of take as they hold they did previously here on bar, but Mentalist is actually going to play aggressively inside piano with some utility to boot as well, including a shield and of course these prismas to help out. There's been a few changes here in the operator lineup as well. No wall denial any longer as Tex moves on to that Jaeger instead, but with Lusty and Mentalist playing together here, I have a feeling that Fnatic have quite a strong hold here in Piano, and it'll take a lot of work from Nora-Rengo to dislodge them.
Well, it definitely does, especially if Mentalist takes down Yoshingo like that. Able to completely deny this southern side of the building. Now only having to deal with the west side repels that are on both these windows. The Kali is going to be able to tag up Mentalist down to about 27 HP. And that is, well, not so nice for him, but still he managed to survive and is going to be able to rotate back down right now. He wasted 90 seconds. Soulboy is going to be able to find a response onto Mag, and well, Lusty is still in a position where he can actually try and deny and contest the likes of Piano for even longer. So Nora-Rengo really needs to find out what they want to go for right here, as they don't seem to have any control as of yet, and there's about 70 seconds left right now. So as we're slowing down, we are going to be looking at how Nora-Rengo is going to be approaching this. That air jab is going to get caught by an ADS as well. Oh no.
We are protected.
Oh, grenade? Is that gonna
Just
okay,
holding
he's
on a
gonna be
little bit
forced out.
longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lusty does decide to get out of there. I think smart. Obviously, his cover is blown, quite literally. So not going to contest that. But of course, Nora-Rengo a bit late on the time now. Last time they executed in a 4v4 with 15 seconds left, and that didn't pan out so well for them as Fnatic held their ground. Only a few seconds left before time really starts to become poor for Nora-Rengo. They need to get a move on. 25 seconds in this 4 versus 4. They'll need to step it up because this did not pan out well for them last time. But Pillia, that player on the east window repel, is still alive, and that is something that Nora-Rengo didn't have last time. But how are they trying to execute this? Fnatic was so impactful with a C4 in the previous round, but they don't have any on the players remaining. Sticks, of course. Dove has those evil eyes. Soulboy forcing that plant down, but it is denied from Freezer. Vitex all on Papilia now. He drops Skylight, but there's no time for him to make anything happen, and that's Fnatic to repeat their defense successfully on Bar and Cocktail.
You did indeed say the Nomad is still on the repel right there on the eastern side, but it was a castle barricade. He was going to be unable to deal with that with the time that was still left. Due to that, he had to swap over to the actual Skylight, which is not really the ideal angle you would like to have to cover off a plant like that, because you want to be able to look directly into Freezer. As right there we had Tex using that destroyed bar to quickly peek through, get the diffuser planter, make sure that wasn't going to be going down, because otherwise that time would have been in the disadvantage of Fnatic. It will be completely the turntables. But eventually they still managed to get it. So Fnatic right now 3-1, and they're doing better compared to what we have seen before from them in the APAC North Division. So they seem to have worked out some of the issues they have. They might be able to continue right here for a 4-2 or 5-1 scoreline. Be putting them up for a very good position to actually go for the execute on the attacks later on.
Yeah, Fnatic have struggled, as you mentioned, in the North Division so far. They lost both first and second games, and they were both close though. Like, you know, 6-8 against Giants, and that's a really strong team clearly in the region,
right
and
there.
6-8 against Xavier as well.
Probably just to hold out that window, know if someone is trying to pressure it. Not quite sure. Be better positions to place it. Maybe in pillars, for example. Get some ID there of what's happening. Not too sure about that.
For Fnatic now, this is the best we've seen them so far in the North League. But obviously there's still 2 more rounds for them to hold fast on the defense here. Nora-Rengo, we've seen them struggle in their first Playday against Q-Confirm, but they brought it back just last week. Oh, sorry, no, they brought it back last week against Q-Confirm, but they struggled in that first week. No, I had it the right way around first. Q-Confirm they lost to on Oregon, and then they beat Scars last week, 7-2. So we finally saw some flashes of greatness, flashes of the old Nora-Rengo, but they have struggled here, as you can see so far, against Fnatic. A bit of time delays on their attacks, which has really made it difficult to really punch through. I want to credit Fnatic with some creative setups that has delayed Nora-Rengo quite significantly. Now, if we go back and talk about the previous time that Fnatic defended Reading Fireplace, Nora-Rengo managed to get control of Pixel within a minute and a half. Now, so far, they're actually doing more horizontal take as well, not just clearing this top floor. And of course, Tex is still alive. Very similar timing. And there you go. Fnatic is just going to back off. I really like this read from Tex. And it seems like Fnatic have understood the playstyle from Nora-Rengo.
So much utility being used right now on that shield, and still the shield will stay up. As Tex rotated out, it was still 1 ADS left. Not sure if they're going to be able to clear that one right now, but they at least lost one of their breaching charges and the shield's still up. So Simatuki right now trying to get some pre-fires down. I think they know no one is going to be behind that shield, as Lusty will be able to get the first frag onto Papilia. We'll go for a very advantageous jump out right here. Very adventurous, that's for sure. Going to be able to survive as well. No pressure coming down from any of the players of Nora-Rengo, and that is due to the fact that if you start rappelling down, because they were all on the roof, you're going to be exposing half your body without you being actually able to shoot. Just giving out these free kills right here to Lusty potentially. As Mag now picks up Mariu as well. It is going to be looking like a very good round for Fnatic to come down. At least so far it's developing to be like that.
That said, Nora-Rengo did find that first pick. It's Magnet gone down again, but Nora-Rengo have a lot of work to do in just 25 seconds to make it happen. They don't have info on these players, and still 2 players from Fnatic are roaming downstairs and ready to flank up. Yoshingo looking to execute into reading Fireplace, but does he have the support he needs? It's a kill box in that room, so difficult to plant in there, and there are so many ways that Fnatic can deny it. Lusty on the long angle spots out the player, but decides to back off. He can wait his teammate take down the planter, but it's all on Simatuki now against 3 players, and he gets pre-fired into oblivion by Styx. Fnatic up 4-1 on their defensive half. A really strong showing from the Aussies.
Definitely a strong showing here, and they're looking hungry for that first win here, Dev. They are, of course, like they expected to be top 3. They're going into this as the clear favorites by the public in this entire North Division. Only to be challenged by Cyclops or Giants, but if you're looking at it right now, they're at the bottom of the scoreboard. They're at the bottom of the table, and they want to change that. And right now, if they manage to get this win in, that's definitely going to be a good change. Definitely going to be a good start to fight yourself back towards that top 4 position where you would really like to have yourself at the end of this first split or first stage. Question is, are they still going to be able to get there? I think they are, but they just have to win everything from here on forward.
Yeah, remember that Nora-Rengo last time they attacked this kitchen bomb site was actually the first and only attack round they've won so far, and that was when Magnet roamed upstairs. Nora-Rengo just found pick after pick and really didn't take a lot to get back onto the site. And since then, Fnatic have really adopted a different playstyle. They've been playing to contest and then back off to stay alive as much as possible and ensure that in that late round when Nora-Rengo is executing with low intel, low time, Fnatic has that man advantage, and it seems to work out for Fnatic, as you can see from the scoreline. But Nora-Rengo, this is the only bomb site they've won, as I said, so can they claw it back here on this map clear? The thing that's going to be a real thorn in their side is the combination of the mute and the Mozzie. A lot of information denial, and with Nora-Rengo already being quite slow so far on their attacks, it doesn't bode well for that pattern to continue here.
All right, Fnatic, are they going to be able to set this up in a 5-1, or is Nora-Rengo going to be able to find at least one more? Yes, of course, this is a defense side of map cafe, especially with a Tencher and Maverick band to come in. It just makes it significantly harder to open up the right walls that you want. Not that for the top floor it's very necessary, due to the fact how it's currently being played, but for the other 2, it's definitely of impact. And well, you also see Nora-Rengo struggling up there. Is right now, again, they're going for top floor control. This time we do not see Mag hiding, I believe, with the smoke behind the bar, so that's a change to come through. Papilia will get the first frag into Tex, though. He's going to be starting things off, and with that, it's going to be the Mozzie gun, potentially a C4 out of play. And no more opportunity to hide these drones.
The Magnet does find one. Not sure where Mariu was. Previously, he was at the top of the pillar. There you go, in the 90 hallway, down the outside reading. Where was Magnet? Was he allowed to escape alive? It does seem like he has not been harassed, and Nora-Rengo still short on information. Just blind peeking these corners is Soulboy with no drones ahead of him. No information at all. Magnet below may well have a C4 to use to take down that player. And then you can see that mute jammer inside of Train has slowed down the push from Nora-Rengo. They can finally start mincing open this floor, but Magnet wants to find a C4 kill through it. Soulboy just breaking all that floor and then standing in a safe position. Magnet C4 is going to be an airball. But Fnatic still have this numbers advantage. That's going to get furthered here by Mentalist holding the bottom of Brown Stairs. Nora-Rengo with 1 minute to go. It's plenty of time, but they need to start containing Fnatic here.
Just quickly, went for a peek right there. Spotted that Simatuki on this main door, who is going to be going for a peek right now, but he's being white swung right here by Mentalist, who managed to find himself safely back in, well, uncontested grounds. Grenades are being tossed out as Yashingo right now to take down Lusty, and he's going to be even going even more aggressive. Mag has to watch out before he gets himself taken out. Mentalist still in a very... Ooh, he could have just easily been picked up right there by Soulboy if only he would have just watched throughout this hallway, but not being the case in the end. We've got to keep in mind the freezer is open. They can rotate through that. Someone needs to hold it. I think Stigs is the one doing so, as they do still have these cameras available to them. Last 10 seconds are happening. Nora-Rengo need to go for the execute now. Are they going to be able to clip their fingers once more? No, it doesn't seem like it, at least not yet. Mag is going to be able to pick up one. It's going to be up to Simatoki and Yashingo. Well, it's not even up to them anymore, as they both get taken down in quick succession. It's Fnatic to win round number 6 and currently lead with 5-1, and that is definitely the most comfortable we have seen them so far in the APAC North Division. Let's see if they can finish it off right here and, well, follow up the last 7-1 with another 7-1.
It's so nice to see Fnatic finally playing like the Fnatic that we know and love. Previously on Clubhouse, where they played both of their recent matches, they really struggled to make adaptations mid-game. It felt like that round to round, they were banging their heads against that wall. But here, against Nora-Rengo on Cafe, when things aren't working for Fnatic, or when they're only winning by the skin of their teeth, they change their strategy. They have accounts prepared for Nora-Rengo, and it works perfectly. And that really was the play style of start to try to slow down Nora-Rengo, contest that roam for a little bit, and then back off. And even though Nora-Rengo found the opening pick in that round just there, so much time was wasted on that roam clear from Nora-Rengo because Fnatic had prepared those mute jammers and the Mozzie Pest on that roam to delay that from Nora-Rengo, and when push came to shove, 3 versus 3 in the last 8 seconds, that is always going to favor the defenders.
It's definitely always going to be favoring the defenders. They know they do not have to peek, and if they want to go for that diffuser plant, it's going to be putting one person out of play for at least 7 seconds. And if that lasts after the clock ticks 0-0-0-0, all you have to do is just get 1 or 2 quick bullets right into that head of them and make sure that you stop that diffuser plant. Automatically win the round, so as the time runs out, the defenders will be feeling more comfortable with every single second of it. So that's something you need to keep in mind on the attack. Your time management is so important. You don't want to wring yourself out. You don't want to give the defenders too much space and too much confidence.
It's funny that both of these teams here bringing the alibi for this top 4 defense. Oh, Mary to find one.
Double jump out.
What is this aggression from Nora-Rengo? Fnatic are just stilted out here and questioning what happened there. Nora-Rengo, you want to play like that? All right, we're going to play like that too, says Stigs, as he drops down the skylight and takes down Papilia. Lusty as well now in the bar. Can Fnatic steal the site away and force down a plant? There's only 3 players left for them. Make that 2, but oh no, make that 1. All on Lusty, but Soulboy to clean house by the end of it. Nora-Rengo started with a bang. Fnatic gave it their best, but Soulboy was here to say, no, you ain't getting nothing.
Beautifully played by Nora-Rengo right there. Going for that double jump out to start things off with. Instantly picking up 2 people. And afterwards, just all running back upstairs as they know where they are. Absolutely beautifully played right there. Really like what they did right there. As, well, Mentalist and Stigs, they had their responses, but Soulboy was there to counter it all off in the end. 2-5. Nora-Rengo able to pick up that first round, and right now, they actually, were we in the middle floor? Were we in kitchen? On reading, I mean. I think we were, right? We're going kitchen
now. I thought the site was cocktail, but maybe I was wrong. I thought site was cocktail. That was why all of the defenders rushed up white stairs to retake site. I wrote it down as cocktail, but maybe I was wrong.
I'm not sure, actually. I think it might have been... Oh, yeah, it was indeed cocktail. It was indeed cocktail. All right, yeah, okay. I thought it was downstairs
Always.
at some moment. I don't know. I might have been a bit confused by all the action going on so quickly. But very frag-heavy round to come in. That's for sure. Like very explosive.
Oh, I love that. I love that though. It's a read from Nora-Rengo. They're like, all right, look, this isn't working. Let's just force some gunfights and put Fnatic on the back foot. Really great read. And then Fnatic were like, oh, look, you want to jump out windows like crazy people? Well, we're just going to rush site like crazy people. And that actually worked. But it was just Nora-Rengo all rushing up white stairs on the retake. We're a bit too much for Fnatic to handle. But now we move on to the next defense for Nora-Rengo. With that one in the bag, they'll go downstairs and really, it was a weakness of Nora-Rengo on this roam clear, especially when Fnatic on the defense brought a lot of that information denial utility. But for Nora-Rengo, they're favoring more so site-centric utility with just a few roamers out there, perhaps a few goo mines on the roam from Papilia, but he does have both impacts. So in fact, he can make rotations for himself late round or mid round on this roam to enable that. There's the first drone taken out by Fnatic, a bit of a information gathering denied there. And Papilia keen to contest. You can see Nora-Rengo, they have a resurgence of confidence here on their defense and ready to take some fights.
They definitely want to take up some fights right here. Nora-Rengo knowing that the aggression is the right way to go at it. This Papilia right now will be picked up by Mentalist. It's not really what they expected most likely to happen. With that, right now, Fnatic are back in the driver's seat, especially for this round, as they have taken down that Legion. No more goo mines will be deployed. Not sure how many he had and how many he still had in pocket, but it's still going to be stopping him from regenerating any others. As Fnatic now have the second and third floor cleared out, meaning they can now start pushing towards that first floor, towards the kitchen and cooking area.
Yeah, of course, with that flank watch deployed, they don't have to worry so much about Nora-Rengo getting aggressive back on them. And with that man advantage and a minute and a half to mince open this floor and find those players on site, Fnatic are actually in a pretty good position. Add to that the fact that Nora-Rengo has no C4s, so Fnatic are fairly safe here. They just have to worry about contesting these angles. Nora-Rengo is put under the pump here, so they're going to be hoping that Fnatic take a bit too much time here to IGL their execute. And as you can see, quite a few Nora-Rengo players around the VIP side. So pressure coming in from Fnatic on that north window on the bottom floor, that's going to be pivotal. And here it is, Mariu under the pump. Castle barricade destroyed and Sticks to find another one. This is such a struggle for Nora-Rengo. Fnatic are turning it up here on this execute 5 versus 3. And plenty of time to make this happen.
Definitely plenty of time, but there's still no one on the first floor. They need to get these boots on the ground right here. They need to actually actively start pushing into Mario and Yoshingo, or completely throw the execute around towards the bakery, as there's no one located around that. Mentalist is holding onto Simatuki. In the meantime, the plant's already going down. No one's on site. That means that the plant will be going down. 45 seconds will be on the clock. There's going to be a small response into Stakes, but it's only up to Mario right now. And well, he will be taken down by Mag. Very quick round from Fnatic. Well, not as quick as the previous one. That was from Nora-Rengo, but still a very good execute to come in. As soon as they realized the site was clear, they just came in, shot everybody that moved inside, which was basically people re-entering as there was no one left on site. Got that plant down, and with that forced Nora-Rengo into going aggressive while the angles were being held. And it all came back to Fnatic in the end. 2-6 right now. We're on a match point. Actually, we're on 4 match points to come in. Is this going to be enough for Fnatic to clear it out, or is Nora-Rengo going to be able to live up right here and take it all back?
Well, a lot of confidence here in Fnatic. The ability to manhandle Nora-Rengo on that roam. We saw Papilia shot a drone early, really confident running rounds, but no, he got caught off guard. Fnatic ready to receive, not overextending too much, just waiting for Nora-Rengo to fall into their hands, and they got 2 picks off of that. And then from then on, they just played the slow game, played the smart game. Executed onto site, didn't worry about chasing frags, just tried to force things down, and Nora-Rengo were overwhelmed. Now, as you said, 4 match points in a row for Fnatic puts them in such a strong position to finally get a victory here in the APAC North League after a starvation 2 maps stolen from them in overtime the previous 2 weeks. And of course, what better team to beat than your long-lost rivals of Nora-Rengo? These 2 teams have a legacy dating back to the Season 6 of Pro League, which was the very first time APAC was introduced. And Fnatic took that in a nail-biting 2-1 best of 3 over Nora-Rengo, and it seems like Fnatic are still the better team.
Fnatic has had a little bit more of international experience compared to Nora-Rengo, especially lately. And Nora, well, they still managed to find their ways in, but not seeming to be as impressive as that Fnatic has been. Fnatic, of course, in the 6 Invitational, able to make some of the biggest upsets that we have seen. I kind of rooted for them after that, wanted them to win the entire thing. Unfortunately, they did not. It was Space Station Gaming who was crowned the champion. But still, they showed they have something to them. And they have this kind of flexibility, which allows them to play well against many different kind of teams. Many different kind of giants. And, well, it's only a question of time before Fnatic is going to be the team that is going to be constantly siphoning up themselves into quarterfinals and semifinals of these majors and 6 Invitationals.
Once again, Fnatic playing the slow game, hoping to catch someone from Nora-Rengo off guard. You can see flicking drones, Stigs trying to see. Where is this hold from Nora-Rengo? Are there roamers running around that we can catch out? But no. No free picks as of yet. 3 players from Nora-Rengo playing fairly passively on site, likely the other 2 on the top floor. A Mozzie Pest drone from Soulboy droning down in the freezer. Lusty's creeping up through train, potentially edging into the bomb site. Magnus taking control of 90 as well. Fnatic seeming to ignore the top floor. A very dangerous decision to make, but it might pay off in spades. In fact, Tex finds the first kill here in Laundry. Plant's going down. Tex is good for 2.
Oh my God.
He finds a 3rd. The man is unstoppable. Solarboy can kill the planter, but it may well be too late. Tex against Papilia
Ace.
now. Can he find the final one? It is an ace to close out the map for Fnatic.
Ashmain, by the way. He didn't even want to reload his R4C. Just straight up went for his 1911. Just you know, one gun's empty, throw it away, go to the next one, dude. Like, oh my God, Tex finished that one off in like the exact same way how Nora-Rengo started the half right there by just the explosiveness of jumping out and all rotating back up and just, you know, bringing the frags to Fnatic. And Fnatic right here, we can also do that, especially Tex just running in and basically gunning everybody down. I don't think they saw that one coming. That was a very fast round for Fnatic to close things out.
Yeah, huge game from Tex. It wasn't just in the last round, but overall Tex is a player that since joining Fnatic, you know, maybe there were a few critics out there, but he's been such a good player. And I noticed on Twitter after his match last week, he tweeted out and he said, no excuses, we have to do better. And look at that, Tex, you have. Let's toss it over to our analyst, Milosh. What have you guys got to say?
Thank you so much, James. Yes,